Hello and welcome back, all my Dragon Ball theorists. We have always wanted to see Beerus go full power, especially since so much has happened since Battle of the Gods, where Goku was trying to live up to the hype of Beerus' premonition he had while dreaming of a Super Saiyan God. Whis did thank Goku for his efforts, and Beerus was somewhat pleased as well, realizing Earth had somehow changed the Saiyans he detested all those years ago. He also did get one heck of a fight, which is what Beerus was really looking for. But we learned that Beerus of course didn't use his full power, and it was just a statement to bring out the best in Goku, which also is a classic open-ended way to write the story, so that way Beerus' actual full power can remain a mystery and still be out of reach for our heroes even today. So what does Beerus' full power, his 100%, look like? Well, for that we have to look at what we saw in the Tournament of Power with Toppo's transformation into a God of Destruction. We didn't expect to see a mortal undergo such a visual change when making the decision to be a God of Destruction, but it happened. So what does that mean for the rest of the gods? Do they also possess the ability to power up and drastically change when pushed to their absolute limits? Let's explore now the idea of limit-breaking Hakaishins and Beerus in this form with 100% of his power. We don't officially know much of Beerus and Champa's origins in Dragon Ball, but these two mortals, because of their potential, were able to ascend to the ranks of gods in twin universes. There is a great fan manga that touches on their origins though in Dragon Ball Infinity, and it makes us realize they aren't that different. Beerus and Champa had a mother and father, grew up like any two brothers would, but because of their potential and power, that one day it landed them in the position of a God of Destruction. We often forget that they weren't born into this role because it happened millions of years ago. We forget that somehow two brothers defied whatever odds they had to become gods in different universes as well. So we don't know what universe was their actual origin. There also was gods of destruction that they replaced, and it was up to Whis and Vados to now train them to control these powers to create balance in their universes. I also wanted to mention all this because it is important to realize just how mortal they were compared to where they stand now. Also, if you want to read Dragon Ball Infinity, I will put a link in the description. So when we explored the idea of Beerus becoming a god of destruction for the first time, what did that look like? Was it a decision that caused him to actually change into a Hakaishin like Toppo? Was pure destruction energy coursing through Beerus' veins as a new god of destruction, and it was Whis that had to teach him to control it over millions of years? It is possible that all mortals for the first time undergo this transformation, and it is why they showcased it at the tournament to give us an idea how the god hierarchy works. Toppo, as a new god, is still very early in his god training and only can use his god powers in this form, which logically makes sense when we look at any power or transformation in Dragon Ball. If Toppo is to continue his training and be the acting god of destruction in Universe 11, after he masters his destruction energy, he would be able to Hakai and use god powers in his base form, or I like to call it his mortal form. Which is why we haven't seen anywhere near the true depths of Beerus' power. He doesn't need to actually get that serious and ever go all out. A fraction of a percent of his power, Beerus can destroy a planet. He can fill his destruction role easily, and we all know how laid back and easy Beerus likes to be. He isn't the type of character that wants to exert himself for anything. So it is unlikely we would ever see Beerus go 100% unless he desperately needed to do it to utilize this limit-breaking form. There was a great fan anime done by UHG Animations of Beerus vs Broly, where he actually was angered to the point where he stepped into his limit-breaking Hakaishin transformation. Beerus snapped and went 100%, which was not only bad for Broly, but for everyone. Beerus, if angered to this point, would be an absolute monster as it was portrayed in this fan anime because full power Beerus actually Hakai'd everything around him. Broly, Goku, Vegeta, his homeworld, it all vanished in an instant before anyone could stop him. This form from Beerus is something no enemy would want to see, as it isn't the relaxed, friendly Beerus we've come to know, but the one that landed him his destruction role to begin with, to destroy in order to maintain balance. It's the purest form of the gods of destruction, and Beerus, who is millions of years old, has mastered its complete power. Eventually Whis stepped in though and used his time reversal to bring everything back and prevent Beerus from using his full power. Thankfully, we have angels that make sure their gods don't get too carried away. Probably why Whis staff was given such a technique in the first place as a level of control to make sure balance is correctly carried out. One of the reasons this fan anime was made is we all want to see what Beerus 100% power actually looks like. I do think this was a fun interpretation of it and not too far off what would have happened, based on Beerus' character that if he reached that state, he in fact would likely destroy everything around him as opposed to actually fighting. Although if Beerus did choose to fight in this form, would any of the mortals be a match for him? Goku, Vegeta, or perhaps Jiren? While some fans debate that Goku passed Beerus or that Jiren is stronger, you have to realize that in Dragon Ball the story must go on. The heights of Beerus' full power will likely not be reached by any mortal anytime soon, despite making claims that it has already happened. The fact is the bar for Beerus' full power will continue to be raised as the story goes on. You see, Beerus' power isn't supposed to be passed. There is always another level, and why realistically Goku and Vegeta still respect him because they know if he really got serious, it would be all over. Outside of tremendous power, Beerus does have Ultra Instinct, something that wasn't even discussed early on in the show when Goku fought him, because at that time we didn't even know if the anime would get that far into the story. Which means Goku obviously never had a chance when he fought Beerus. He just attained God Ki with the ritual, so he can't stand against Ultra Instinct or the true power of Beerus. We realize now that Beerus was only toying with Goku at that time and was significantly stronger, which is why when we look back at the show it becomes clearer on where everyone stands and why despite how strong Goku and Vegeta get, Beerus always has an ace up his sleeve to keep everyone in their place. I think that is why in the current arc of the manga that continues the anime story, where we have a villain like Moro who is also millions of years old and has already defeated Goku and Vegeta because of his magic and hacks, we want to see Beerus step in to see what he really can do against a troublesome opponent. Whis is keeping a close eye on the situation, and obviously these type of threats are best left up to mortals and the Kais, as it always has been. Both Goku and Vegeta are now training to attain power to counter this difficult villain. I'm sure that by the end of this arc they will both have attained enough power or a technique to defeat Moro, as that is the core concept of the story. Our heroes get stronger, but there is always a new goal and power to attain, more training to be done. Which means Beerus in the story will continue to have some hidden power that keeps both of them chasing him in hopes for a rematch one day. There is always this carrot on a stick for our heroes. They have hopes to attain power where they are actually strong enough to fight Beerus at 100% of his power. These new heights in strength might someday be reached. It's fun to think about where the story could go next and if we will ever see Beerus get 100% serious and display his full power in any of the upcoming arcs. If he does, it would be one of the greatest displays of power seen in Dragon Ball, so I only hope if it is ever revealed or written into the story for some fan service, it happens at this epic time where Beerus has to step in and save Goku and Vegeta, letting them both know who is still the strongest. At least that is the way I vision it, to give them both something to chase after. Deep down, maybe Beerus does want them to surpass him someday. Then after that, there is no telling where the story would go. Do we get into a demon arc, and do our heroes need to ascend to the power of angels to fight villains of increasing power? Do we ever get to see the 5 strongest fighters in the Dragon Ball multiverse? Well, only time will tell. I do have hopes that in the manga we do get Beerus involved and we do start to see more revealed about the power of the angels. I do think there has been recent foreshadowing of all this to happen if you have been following my other videos. Until then, we can only theorize and tell stories of what Beerus' full power looks like and what an amazing sight that would be. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I am sure that there can be a lot of debate on what Beerus' 100% full power looks like, because power scaling is always a hot topic. However, I will only leave you with these questions. Do you think any mortal is close to defeating Beerus if he does use 100% of his power? Do you think that every god of destruction can actually transform into the limit-breaking Hakaishin form to use their full power? Is this the true power of a god of destruction? I always love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it and smash that like button. Also, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.